So let's continue with the part 2 of your chapter 4 of civic education. Next topic, mixed economic systems. Mixed economic systems contain the features of both capitalist and socialist economic systems. Such economic systems are seen in most of the countries in the world. Sri Lanka is also considered a country with a mixed economic system. Following are some features of a mixed economic system. Number 1, ownership of factors of production divided on both the state and private sectors. Number 2, both the state and private sectors take action in the solution of basic economic problems. Number 3, although the price of commodities depends on the market, there is state intervention. Number 4, existence of both private and state sector enterprise. Number 5, intervention of the state in the setting up of welfare activities for the common good. Next topic, the concept of market economy. The market economy which operates at present is called neoliberal economic system. Under this, while the state does not implement what the private sector can implement, there is scope for the market to function under minimum state intervention. Countries like Russia, Poland, China, where a socialist economic system prevailed, are gradually implementing the concept of market economy at present. Given below are several characteristics of the neoliberal market economy implemented at present. Number 1, privatization of state enterprises. Number 2, provision of facilities for prices to be decided on the market situation. Number 3, encouragement of local and foreign private investors. Number 4, relaxation of subsidies and price control methods. Number 5, toleration of private property ownership. Next, restriction of state sector intervention in economic matters. Next, relaxation of market rules and regulations. Next, minimization of administrative rules, regulations and limitations. Next one, provision on exchange rates to be decided freely and without control. Adverse features also can be identified within the concept of the market economy. Among them is the tendency for the damage caused to other parties in a market economy to be ignored. This is called negative externalities. Example, environmental pollution in the location of factories, failure to recognize public nuisance, etc. Next topic, different forms of the market economy. Under that, when inquiring about countries where a market economic system prevails, three main forms are evident. Number 1, great evidence of characteristics of a capitalist market. Example, United States of America, Australia, Singapore, South Korea. Number 2, great evidence of characteristics of a socialist market. Example, North Korea, Cuba. Number 3, economies that are in the process of moving towards a transformation economy or market economy. Countries like Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Estonia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Latvia, Lithuania, Russia, Ukraine, Uzbekistan that belong to USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Next topic, basic characteristics of transformational economies can be identified as follows. Characteristics of transformational economies. Number 1, privatization of loss-bearing state enterprises. Number 2, encouragement of private enterprises. Number 3, provision of facilities for private property ownership. Number 4, liberalization of the economy. Next topic, influence of globalization on Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a country with a long history. When examining the economic systems that existed from the past to the present day, it is clear that Sri Lanka's economy existed in various forms. These economic policies changed from time to time based on the government that controlled the state. After winning freedom from British rule in 1948, it is evident that economic systems with socialist, capitalist, and mixed economic features had existed. Next topic, current economic system of Sri Lanka and development. The economic system that prevails in Sri Lanka is based on the open economic policy, which is a market-friendly economy. Even though it possessed features of socialism prior to 1977, at present it contains features of a market economy. Under the policy of open economy after 1977, private enterprises are encouraged through various strategies introduced to the economy. Number 1, provision of various tax concessions to private investors. Number 2, removal of trade barriers or customs duty. Number 3, minimization of state intervention in the market. Number 4, encouragement of foreign investment. Number 5, privatization of state property. 6, fluctuation of exchange rates. 7, introduction of an import-export economy. 8. Opening up of state institutions to the competitive market. 9. Broadening infrastructural facilities. 10. Establishment of free trade zones. It was stated earlier that Sri Lanka too reflects qualities of a market economy. Given below are a few of such characteristics. Under that, characteristics of a market economy system that prevails in Sri Lanka. 1. Encouragement of the private sector. 2. State distancing itself from enterprises. 3. Privatization of state enterprises. 4. Relaxation of barriers regarding foreign trade. 5. State giving up exchange control. 6. State acting as an encourager of entrepreneurs. Next, allowing the value of the currency to float in the market. Next topic, introduction to development. In an economic system, development or growth of various forms can be seen. While some are beneficial to man, some have an adverse effect. For example, growth of crime, an increase in number of accidents can be shown as adverse developments. Accordingly, development that is of a beneficial nature to society is described with the term development in economics. Economic growth and development are not the same. Economic growth is the percentage of growth in the gross national production annually. But development is wider and it implies the growth of economic, political, social and humanistic sectors favorable to society. Some interpretations presented on development are United Nations Development Report 2000. According to that, progress in economic, political, social and humanity sectors and the minimization of poverty along with permanent progress is development. According to Business Dictionary, the economic and social transformation process taking place through the interaction between complex cultural and economic factors is development. Continuing with the para, it is about sustainable development that much of present day discussion is focused on. Sustainable development implies ensuring the security of the resources of the economy for future generations while satisfying current needs with the passage towards development. It is difficult to give a definite definition to development. This concept implies complete personal and social development. In this regard, there are several aspects that should be taken into consideration. In the diagram, development. Development means economic development, personal development, cultural development, social development, ethical development, and sustainable development. In the development of an economy, it is clear that not only the economic development but other sections should also be involved in the process. In this instance, what is most important is sustainable development. SASHUS 2004 has noted several basic principles that should be considered in sustainable development. Under that, matters that need to be taken into consideration in sustainable development. 1. Satisfaction of basic needs. 2. Being concerned with the future generation. 3. Getting public participation. 4. Conservation of natural resources. 5. Protecting the environment. 6. Social security. 7. Respecting other cultures. Continuing with the para. At the Millennium Assembly of the United Nations Organization in 2007 on development, 8 Millennium Development Targets were approved. They are number 1, eradication of poverty and hunger. Number 2, acquisition of a common primary education. 3, empowerment of women and gender equality. 4, proportional reduction of infant deaths. 5, development of mental health. 6, suppression of diseases like AIDS and malaria. 7, assurance of environmental sustainability. 8, initiation of a global relationship for development. Sri Lanka too accepted in principle and the need to move towards development through the achievement of the targets outlined above. It has been accepted as a policy at present to make Sri Lanka as a central point of knowledge in Asia. Next topic, new development trends in present day Sri Lanka. New development trends in present day Sri Lanka. In the past, the economy of Sri Lanka depended on subsistence agriculture. But with Sri Lanka coming under British rule, its economy was gradually transformed into an import-export economy based on plantation crops. Before 1977, state contribution in the areas of agriculture, industry and services was visibly dominant. Attention was also paid to the setting up of export-oriented industries utilizing local resources. When acquiring into modern development trends in Sri Lanka, it is possible to divide the changes that took place after independence into several main stages. The table below shows the special features evident in each period. Stage, special features. 1948 to 1960, special features. Existence of an economic system based on import-export. Both the state and private sectors joining the economic activities. Plantation industry getting priority. Encouragement of a locally dependent agricultural section. Nationalization of private enterprises after 1956. Provision of consumer subsidies. Period 1961 to 1970. Special features. Assumption of a semi-open appearance. Relaxation of exchange regulations. Provision of opportunities to private entrepreneurs. Reduction of food subsidies. 1970 to 1977. Becoming a closed economy. Commencement of import-oriented industries. Introduction of restrictions on export. Imposition of new regulations regarding distribution of essential food items. Implementation of a ration system. Limitation of private land ownership. Encouragement of a local supply agricultural sector. Making exchange control rules more static and regular. Development depending mostly on local resources. Period 1978 to 1993. Introduction of open economic policies. Relaxation of export-import limits. Provision of tax relief for foreign investors. Commencement of export-based industries. Restriction of food subsidies. Preferential treatment for the industrial sector over the agricultural sector. Setting up of free trade zones. Implementation of various welfare schemes for the poor. Provision of free uniforms, textbooks, midday meals for education. Privatization of loss-bearing state institutions. 1994 to 2004. Implementation of open economy policies. Further, provision of tax relief for private entrepreneurs. Privatization of state enterprises. Involvement of the private sector in the provision of infrastructural facilities. Restructuring of state institutions, obtaining international advice on policy making. After 2004, the implementation of an open economic policy is prominent. Nevertheless, focus of attention on the agricultural sector and investments were evident. Given below are some special features prominent during this stage. Colombo Port, Expressway. Stop privatization of state institutions. Repossession of privatized state institution by the state. Example, Sri Lankan Airways, Senegalese Sugar Company, Paper Corporation, Shale Gas Corporation, presently called Litro. Taking action for the promotion of local agro-economic fertilizer subsidy, Apivaumu Ratanagum program. Development of infrastructural facilities such as construction of highways, harbour, construction of the airport, revamping the Colombo harbour, construction of power stations, launching various projects for economic development, Divinaguma, Maganaguma, Gamanaguma, Nagara, Alankaraniya, road development, speeding up urban development. Raising living conditions of the poor, example Samurdhi program, encouragement of the self-employed, home garden programs. Next, popularization of information technology, example the NanoCell program, Vidya resource centers. Next, implementation of new changes in the field of education, example introduction of technical subjects to advanced level subject stream, establishment of professional and technical universities, the 1000 School program, establishment of technical laboratories. Some of the ongoing development activities in Sri Lanka have the following advantages. 1. Rise in employment opportunities. 2. Rise in foreign exchange earnings. 3. Rise in the standard of living of the people. 4. Speeding up of regional development. 5. Maintenance of high level of economic development. 6. Ability to face world crisis. 7. Development of infrastructural facilities. 8. Broadening of new job market. 9. Acquisition of an internationally outstanding position. 10. Ability to maintain peace. Gradual decrease in the number of families receiving Samurdhi in Sri Lanka. Year number of families. 2005, 1,960,664. 2006, 1,916,594. 2007, 1,844,660. 2008, 1,631,133. 2009, 1,600,786. 2010, 1,572,129. 2011, 1,541,619. 2012, 1,515,613. Several indices on the development of Sri Lanka. Index, infant mortality rate 2009-10, 2010 8.5, 2011 8.5, 2012 9.4. Birth rate 2009 18.4, 2010 17.6, 2011 17.6, 2012 17.4. Literacy 2009 91.3, 2010 91.4, 2011 91.9, 2012 92.2. Percentage of admission for primary education 2009 102, 2010 91, 2011 97, 2012 92. Position of Sri Lanka according to Human Development Index 2009 102, 2010 91, 2011 97, 2012 92. Next topic, the influence of technological development and globalization on world economy and Sri Lankan economy. Under that, technological progress and globalization. People who lived in isolation tended to make various discoveries by living as a group. With the new industrial revival of Europe, new technology too developed gradually. Every sector in the world has been connected based on this scientific and technological process. This is called a global village or globalization. The picture above shows several products that have been created using modern technology. It can be seen that the technological equipment are spread across all sections of industry: communication, trade, education, health and transport. Along with the progress of communication technology that takes place in countries of the world, the whole world has drawn closer to each other. Thus, we can know of any event that occurs anywhere in the world in a moment. The world drawing closer in this manner with technology is generally known as globalization. The mutual relationship taking place within the economic, political and cultural process is called globalization. The world economy becoming a single unit can also be expressed as globalization. Thus, economic changes of one country exert influence on other countries. Given below are several characteristics of globalization. 1. Broadening of the world of work. 2. Broadening of the global market. 3. Ability to live in any country in the world. 4. The possibility of working in any country in the world according to one's skills and abilities. Transfer of industries to countries where cheap labor is available. Continuing with the next para. Just as much as economic reasons, political, social and cultural reasons to influence the spread of globalization. Developed countries use this concept to politically influence other countries. Example, market control, impose sanctions, etc. Various forms of cultural intermixing take place as a result of globalization. Similarly, world powers have utilized globalization to impose their domination in the world market. It is also possible that a form of neo-colonialism would spread owing to globalization. Next topic, the influence of globalization on the world economy. International trade has been subject to various changes within globalization. The view of the European Union is that the entire world should be transformed into a single nation speaking same language and using the same monetary unit. One example of this is action taken by the European Union to introduce a common currency unit within its own, which is called Euro. As stated earlier, the endeavor of world powers was the transformation of the entire world to a single economic unit within globalization. Various organizations such as the World Bank, International Monetary Fund, United Nations Organization, Asian Development Bank and World Trade Organization have been set up to promote this effort. However, the effort made through these institutions have directly or indirectly influenced other countries. Characteristics observed in the world economy consequent to globalization. 1. Rise of multinational companies. 2. Investment based on factors like tax relief, cheap labor that exist in various countries. 3. Introduction of the open economic policy to the world. 4. Emergence of various regional cooperational organizations. 5. Law of local money to foreign countries. 6. Projection of one country's political power to other countries by powerful countries of the world. Occurrence of revolutionary changes in information technology. 8. Occurrence of barrier-free trade through the removal of obstacles to trade. Next, mobility of capital and labor. Next, implementation of economic activities based on world production. Implementation of economic activities based on world production. Through such influence, world powers not only expect to maximize profits but also to establish political stability. At present, the trend of various countries jointly setting up several such organizations and the objectives are shown below. Organization European Union, member countries Austria, France, Denmark, Belgium, Germany, Finland, Greece, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, Great Britain. Objectives: greater systemization of financial transactions. Next, barrier trade expansion. Next organization, North America Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. Countries, United States of America, Canada and Mexico. Objectives, free trade. Next organization, South Asian Preferential Trade Agreement, SAPTA. Member countries, Sri Lanka, India, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, Maldives. Objectives, broadening of regional trade. Next organization, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multisectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, BIMSTEC. Countries, Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Bhutan, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Nepal. Broadening of investment areas like textiles, garments, medicine and information technology, encouragement of governmental and non-governmental organizations, technological exchange, ensure regional cooperation. Apart from this, the emergence of world economic groups has also occurred resulting from globalization. Example, birth of organizations like G7, G77, G24, and G15. The primary objective of setting up these international economic organizations was to take collective action for the resolution of world economic problems and face collectively the pressure brought about by developed countries. Next topic, how globalization influences Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka too is unable to save itself from globalization. We have to bear the influence of globalization. As a result of open economic policy implemented after 1977, the influence of globalization has become more and more pronounced. The reason for this is the exposure of production and trade to the world market. Given below are several positive and negative influences Sri Lanka has had to face on account of globalization. Positive influences: 1. Influx of foreign investments and modern technology. 2. Drop in unemployment resulting from the creation of new job opportunities in the world of work. 3. Higher demand for local product factors. 4. Progress of technical and service sectors. 5. Birth of local products based on the international market. 6. Improvement in the state of the balance of payments. 7. Diversification of the economy. 8. Production of high quality products, increasing the efficiency of production and quality of goods. 9. Improvement of local human resource due to influx of foreign experts. 10. Broadening of infrastructural facilities necessary for products. 11. Possibility of getting maximum benefits of local resources. 12. Regional development due to the location of large-scale industries out of the city. 13. The possibility of joining up with various regional organizations. 14. Exclusion of inefficient industries from the market. 15. Allowing the local consumer to obtain high-quality goods. Next topic, negative influences. 1. Inability of local products to compete with multinational products. 2. Rise in environment damage caused by industrial institutions. 3. Efflux of foreign exchange dividends as interest and loan installments to foreign countries. 4. Speeding up of brain drain. 5. Escalation of the influence brought on by developed countries. 6. Local culture being subject to various questionable influences. 7. Proliferation of unsuitable economic and consumer patterns in the country. 8. Need to depend on foreign loans and aid. 9. Need to face world economic differences directly. 10. Problems regarding public welfare because of the state sector is distancing itself from economic matters. 11. Need to agree to donors' conditions when obtaining foreign loans. 12. Operation of the poverty-stricken public due to the state distancing itself from protectionist strategies such as price control. 13. Local resources being subject to exploitation. 14. Destruction of the local dependent economy. 15. Destruction of local primary industries. Next para. Due to the rapid expansion of globalization, it is clear that both its advantages as well as disadvantages have to be faced. It will be possible to minimize the influence of its disadvantage by educating the public. So we have finished the chapter 4 of your civic education textbook. Study well. Take care. Thank you.